Walter White gets caught cooking and selling crystal meth in an alleyway. He is taken to a police station, where he is interrogated by the detective in charge of the case. Detective: what are you doing here? Walt: I was trying to cook some meth. Detective: you know it's against the law? Walt: yeah, and I don't give two dangs. Walter shoots the police to death and calls Saul Goodman for help. Saul: what do you need me to do? Walt: tell them I'm not guilty. Walter tries to use his chemistry knowledge from college to make crystal meth without getting caught. He explodes his house and shoots his wife to death out of anger as she is telling him that they can no longer afford the mortgage payments. Walter then uses his chemistry skills to get away with murder and calls Saul Goodman for help. Saul: what do you need me to do? Walt: explain my situation to the police. I need money for food and the only way I know how to do that is becoming a druggie. Help me please. Walter White goes to the hospital where he meets a young girl who reminds him of his daughter Skylar. At first the two have a pleasant conversation until Walter finds out what the girl is really there for. The girl is a secret Russian spy sent in to kill Walter. Walter starts running and stabs the girl with a meth sword before she can finish her mission. Walter now has an excuse for murdering this girl. Saul: what do you need me to do? Walt: kill this spy and get me more meth so I can keep making more money. Saul: I don't feel like it, you N-word. Walt: you should kill yourself, now. Walter finally gets some good news when the police find the spy dead on his floor. Walter sends Saul over to pick up the girl's body. When Saul arrives, he notices that Walter is wearing one of Skylar's dresses. Saul shoots Walter and there's a big shootout in the capital of New Mexico, and Walt wins the gunfight but mourns the death of his lawyer, Saul Goodman. Walter White escapes the hospital after being shot twice. He makes it back home and kills his wife and cooks a batch of meth. After eating some of his own drug, he looks in the mirror and sees Walter White staring back at him. Walter commits suicide and ends up in hell, where the devil tells him that he'll be spending eternity cooking crystal meth. Walter goes to see his doctor and tells him about his new life as a crystal meth cooker. His doctor says that he needs to start exercising and lose weight or else he will die sooner rather than later. Walt is too busy cooking crystal meth to do that and dies again and ends up in a different reality and kills his wife again. The DEA raids Walter's house and arrest him for selling meth. He escapes and heads toward Albuquerque, where he runs into Saul Goodman once again. Saul: what do you need me to do? Walt: kill yourself. Saul: okay. Saul then commits suicide after touching his wife's boobs. Walter White is at the Mexican border. He is trying to cross over but the guards stop him and ask if he's carrying anything illegal. They search him and find a bag of meth inside his shoe. Walt runs away and rips off his penis and throws it at the guards, and they start sucking on it and he gets past scot-free. Walter White is at work and the CEO asks him why he's late. Walter says that he was sleeping in because of a bad dream. CEO: well, it's time to go to bed, little fella. Walt and the CEO sleep together and have kids. One day the police come to visit Walter and tell him that the company is going under and that he is fired. Walter then decides to turn to crime and starts making crystal meth. Walter White is at his job as a car wash attendant. He starts putting his penis in the gas tank and gets fired from there and starts working as a drug dealer for some extra cash at his new job at the police center. Walter White is still a cop but is no longer a dirty cop. He is working at the police station and is paid well. Walter White is married and has kids. Walter shoots the police chief and has children with his wife and shoots his husband and makes crystal meth. Walter White is now a drug kingpin who lives in luxury. He is driving down the road and sees a man jogging. Walter speeds up to catch the jogger but ends up hitting a tree and dying.